Live.
What's up, my people? We are back in business. It's your girl Angie Stone, that is. Anyway, hope you've had a wonderful weekend. I've had a very, very exciting weekend, with the exception, I did get to see my family on my mom's side this weekend. We had the funeral for my cousin. It's a beautiful service. And I made it back home. So I am back to business with you all. How's everybody doing? I'm going to need you to hit that button and invite somebody in before we get into it today. You know the secret that I'm going to reveal involves my brother, DMX. Rest in paradise, my brother. That is surely a king and something very, very exciting that maybe you guys didn't know, but I'm going to share with you anyway. But just to let you know, I'm going to wait for a few more of you to get in here just before we get going. I'm having some of my delicious coffee, just so you know. I have to do this whenever I'm going live with you guys because it keeps me warm. See, I'm in the cold part of the house. That's why I'm always sweatered up and jacket up and all of that good stuff. Let me see. How we looking for people on here?
We got 12 people in the room.
Come on, I want some more in the room. Let's get some more people in the room. You know what I wish? I gotta find a way that I can just play my music on here without getting flagged, because when I'm trying to cover for the space and the time that we're waiting on people to come in, I could be really playing you guys some incredible music that you would absolutely love. You know, I'm a music head. I love music. I listen to all kinds of music, and I would love to share some stuff with you guys that you may not have known. Now, I'll tell you a couple of my favorite songs that you probably have never heard. Different parts of my career that warrant some good music. I had when I was with the group Vertikal Hold. If you don't know any of that music, you should go look up the songs. You can probably pull them up on YouTube. There's a song called Heartbreak Survival. When I tell you I love that song, it's incredible. Let me break it down. Incredible. Uh, the album was entitled Head First. And some of the material is just incredible. Go check it out. Check it out. You know, I pride myself on, how when I came up and started writing, I was a rapper first. So I used to write songs that were inclusive of rhyming. So, a lot of people say, oh, you write like a rapper. But it was because I was a rapper, and that was my method to writing a song. So it made sense that I could do the transition pretty easily. But just for you guys that don't know, music is my muse. So for you guys to know what's in my head, I also have a song that I absolutely love called Wait for Me. Uh, there's another song called Sit Down that I absolutely love. Some of these songs you probably heard and some maybe you haven't. But, for the people that always say, well, when are you putting out new music? I'm going to need you to go listen to the whole Angie Stone vibe. If you heard that I had a record out, you might want to research it and then go through that material, because when people hear it, they go, wait a minute, I never heard this. I love this. So go check it out. Some of the music is really, really incredible, because remember, I write from life experiences, and most of my stuff is a true story of some sort, either mine or someone else's. So check it out. How many people in my room now? Let me just see.
Like 16 people.
All right, we getting up there. We getting up there. I want to give it a little bit more time. Take another sip of this here coffee. Mm. And you know, the last time I told you guys, I was going to show you some of my products, because as we move along, I'm going to be doing giveaways, and some of my giveaways include some of my coffee, some of my coffee mugs, some of my CDs, some of my hot sauce, some of my barbecue sauce. I mean, you name it, I'm coming with it. I have flasks, shot glasses, even though I don't drink. I'm going to let you know there's a lot of people that drink. So I'm going to go ahead and show you this. While you're here, this is another bag. It's kind of close. It's another bag. If you can see that, this was the newest bag. This is my organic coffee that will be in the organic coffee shop in Chicago. So check it out now. So we got so much stuff on this little display. But I'll do it like this so you can see that's the organic coffee. Let me show you like this. That's the Malawi. It's delicious. Very delicious.
How many people on that?
Here is my coffee mug. Check it out. Check it out. These are my shot glasses and flasks. You see that? Isn't that dope, y'all? That is dope. Ooh. And
I'm feeling real devious today.
These are my CDs. Still making them for the people that love CDs.
Let me know when you really
Hot
want to get
sauce.
live jumping, man.
What you talking about? What are you talking
You don't need to be on there. He want the barbecue sauce. Y'all see it. I ain't playing. What kind of way I was like, well, she this and she that, she this and she that. No, I'm about that life, honey. I'm about my business. So I try to make it do what it do, mainly because it's that time. It is really that time. That's the back of that CD. And that's the front. See that? Yes. Yes, 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 yes. Yes, 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 yes. How many people in my room now? We getting it?
You got 24 people in the room.
All right. Thank you so much.
It looks so good.
Hmm?
So your products look so good.
My products are good, honey. They are the bomb.com. Oh, and when I'm cheating, I love these things. I ain't got no business eating them, but I love sweet tarts. One at a time. Shout out to my brother Van Silk for putting a lot of this together, along with Shayna from Sacred Sounds. And for the person who's always asking what's wrong with my lips, they just full lips. Ain't nothing wrong with them. They call them soup coolers back in the day. But hey, you got a problem with my lips? You gotta take it up with God, honey. He made these lips. I'm sorry if they're not to your liking. But they say if you ain't got nothing good to say, just don't say nothing at all. All right? Anyway, my secret reveal today is about my brother DMX. Whew. That was a hard blow for us all. DMX. But I have to tell you, the admiration I had for that brother was mega, mega, mega. And I ain't gonna get into it yet.
You got 32, so it just jumped by 8. 32 beautiful.
Y'all want to hear about my story with DMX? I'm going to need you to tag somebody right now, right this second. Tag them and tell them to come on in the room. Hit that notification button. Let them get on in the room. Okay? It's going down. I also created a show. I'm going to be letting you guys know down the line. I created a show. We've already filmed a whole bunch of entertainers that I'm super excited about. I won't tell you the name of it just yet, but I will be airing that TV show on my YouTube channel. Baby, you are not ready. Oh, and by the way, my co-host is Music Soul Child. That much I will tell you. That is my co-host for the show. Off the chain. You are not going to want to miss this. So by the time that comes around full circle, you can say you got to hear first. All right? That's what's up. Are people getting tagged in here? I need to know.
They coming in. We got 40 in the room.
Come on, come on, come on. Keep it coming. Keep it coming. That's what I'm talking about. DMX. Woo, that's a goat. That's a goat right there. Okay. I'll tell you a couple of things with regards to DMX and just how incredible our meeting was, our connection, how we just kind of like the same person at a time. Just hold on to your horses. Y'all ready? When we get to 50, I'm going in. I am going in, okay?
Okay, we got 40 in the room, 40 in the room.
Okay. Y'all ready? Tap somebody right now and say, come on in the room. 40, how many?
Say share the live.
All right, y'all share. Come on, y'all can share the live. Y'all can go ahead on and tap on over to whoever, however, whomever, whatever. Let's get it popping.
So while we're waiting for more people to join, let's go through a couple of these hellos from your
Okay.
fans. So we got Planting with Faith.
Planting with Faith, what's up with you?
She said she's so excited.
I am more excited than you.
Brandon Bliss said, let's go, Angie.
All right, Brandon, that's my baby. That's my fan for life. I love you, Brandon. Thank you for being on here. Tag somebody and let them know to join us. We getting it in.
Denaya Azur says, good evening.
Hey, Denaya, how are you? I love that name.
We got Doll Baby 4400 says, hey, Angie girl, let's
What's
go.
up, Doll Baby 4400? What's up?
Chanelica says, Queen of Columbia.
Oh, Chanela, no, you're the Queen of Columbia. Thank you.
And we got Gregory Harbor saying, hey, Angie.
Hey, Gregory, nice to talk to you.
I think this is called Edoto.
Edotos?
Edoto said, hi, Miss Angie Stone. You're a legendary queen. Special love from the 803.
Oh, right, from the 803. I just left there. I just got back today, actually. So you know I'm down like 4 flats for the 803. Thank you.
E Groove's Old School Music says, I love DMX.
All right, E Grooves, I love DMX too. So you're right on it with me.
Okay, I think I read that wrong, but we'll keep going. So we already got questions in the chat today.
You got questions before I can get to my story. Go ahead. I'll take one.
You take one question.
I'll take one question before we get started.
We usually do questions after the reveal, y'all.
Yes, yes. After the reveal, save your questions for after the reveal. But I'll answer this one.
All right. So it says, Angie, are you aware of Terry Dexter? I wish she'd do some phone.
Yes, I am very aware of Terry Dexter. Shout out to Terry Dexter and amazing talent. Yes.
All right. So now we've got 42 people in the room. 42 people in the room right now.
All right. We looking for 8 more people in the room and then we can get started. So I'm going to need for y'all to tap somebody on the shoulder. Hey, tap their eyelid. Go ahead on, tap their elbow. tap their chin and their bottom lip and tell them I'm waiting. I'm just joking with y'all. It's about to go down. Shout out to DMX's children, all of his family. I know you guys miss him because all the world missed DMX. He was the truth serum to this whole game, and he kept it 100 because he loved the Lord out loud, and that's what we got to give him credit for. Okay? That part. Well, you know what? I'm not going to wait any longer. I'm going to go ahead and get started with my secret revealed with DMX. First off, how many people can tell me, just by show of typing in your notes, what was DMX's birthday?
Ooh.
Anybody know?
Let's see.
I'm waiting.
Everybody Googling it.
Don't do that.
Does anybody know DMX's
Come on now.
Y'all gotta know something about him now.
Okay, I'll tell you this. We shared the same birthday. How about that?
We got a December in there.
Yeah, everybody knows it was December. But what was that date?
I got a December 18th.
There you go. 17th. Bingo. Who said December 18th?
Brandon Bless.
All right, Brandon. Now you know. You know, because you know my birthday.
Shay Joy Smith says the 18th.
That's right.
Doll Baby says the 17th.
No, it's the 18th, boo.
Okay, so Goddess of Peace also said the 18th. So
okay. Everybody knows.
They figured it out.
Y'all figured it out. If you did, you Google. I gave you the biggest clue in the world. I said because we're born on the same day. DMX and I are born on the same day. Okay? I have to tell you that brother was so special to me. And the secret that I'm going to share with you guys are ready? Okay, I'm going to take it all the way back. When I first came elbow to elbow with DMX, we were working at a place called Battery Studios downtown. He was in the A room and I was working in the C room. Let me tell you something. I was scared out of my mind because DMX had all these big dogs running through the studio. So I got my behind in my room and kept the door closed and stayed in there because if I had to use the bathroom, I was just holding it, okay? Because I was so scared. I would walk in the hallway and see one of those dogs. He loved dogs. And whenever he would book studio session, he would have his dogs. And so you knew not to mess with him because them dogs were his like guardian. They looked after DMX. Well, lo and behold, I didn't know we were born on the same day at that time, but I was a huge fan of his music. I could hear his music through whenever I was out there, I could hear his music through the wall before, the dogs came out. You could hear the music bang. It was bumping. Always like true to the game. So once I found out that he was a Sagittarian like me, we just kind of started following each other because we were both goats in our own right, if you know what I mean. I love to do songwriting and producing, background vocals and all kind of stuff. And he was just spitting crazy. So this particular year, DMX and I, this is when we realized that we had the same heart. They had a bunch of children that were sick and shut in at a Harlem hospital that were not going to have Christmas at home with their families. And they asked for celebrities of all walks of the game, could they all get together and, go down to the hospital so those kids would have some level of excitement for around Christmas time. Now, we thought it was going to be at least 20 artists that they came out for the children. we got down to I got down to to Harlem Hospital and went upstairs to the children's floor. I didn't know who was gonna come. I didn't know who else would be there. I just know that I had to show up for the kids. Well, it was only 2 people there. The next person that was there was none other than DMX. That's when we realized we had the same heart and the same intention. And we realized at that time we served the same God, Jesus. And we loved on those children, but became friends because we loved on the same opportunity to give back. No other artist showed up to the hospital to spend the day with those children, just DMX and myself. I was so moved by the fact that he came because one would think with that hard street cred and that rough rapping that he wasn't a fan of children, but quite the opposite. He loved children. He loved the idea of giving back. He loved the idea of serving. And what I just want to say is that is the nature of a Sag, but a nature of a Sag on December 18th. We have the same heart, the same intention. We moved alike. So when DMX, whenever he got arrested, I went into prayer for DMX because quite contrary to what most would think, I really heard his heart. So when DMX would go hard about his love and just, when he felt like this is a setup, I believed him because I knew that he was a child of God and I knew that the enemy does not play fair. So I felt like everything was an entrapment of some kind that the enemy was setting up. So I went into prayer. So when DMX started going hard with his ministry, I was actually doing my hour power. If you go back the layers of Instagram, I started a ministry. Started back to school. I got my doctorate from Dimension University for theology, and it started my ministry. So I started doing this show called the Power Hour, and I would have guests on the show, and we would go in and we would do Bible study live. We would go, everybody would call in and they would get involved, and I would give them an opportunity to come on camera and get it in. Well, I was getting so much traction. The thing was so big. It was just starting to grow. I reached out at the same time to DMX to be a guest on my show. And believe it or not, when I sent the message out, the word came back. DMX said, "Find her for me. I gotta link with her." It was an automatic yes. And he and I were scheduled to link up together on the Power Hour just so we could do Bible study together on my show. And this was right before he passed away. We never got to do the show. And I was devastated mainly because he said yes because he knew my heart. He knew me, the person. I did get a chance to talk to um, his ex-wife and his fiance. I talked to all of them in his passing, after he passed, and was able to share my feelings and they with me as well. So it was with the saddest heart for me to know that he was fighting all kinds of stuff to just try to get the word of God out. But what I feel most great about is that he spoke out loud and he stood for God even until the end, no matter what people thought he made it very clear who he served. And I'm just happy that he said yes to me and he was willing to go on my live with me on the Power Hour, which I plan to bring back, by the way, and do allow people to learn the Bible with us, study, ask questions, and us, along with ministers and friends that know the Lord, to come out and answer questions and help us all grow harmoniously together in the Word. That is my secret revealed from my brother, the guru himself, DMX. Rest in paradise, my brother. You know what? We will never forget you and we will always uplift you. So, for you guys that really understood what DMX stood for, I want you to do me a favor. If you can, find a clip somewhere on his page or throughout Instagram, something that he said or did, and post it to my story. If you get a chance, post it to my Instagram, post it with your name saying, you know what, I promise you I will shed light. I will add it to my story and we'll go ahead and keep his word alive. Okay? That's what I want to do for my brother, because you know what? He went hard for all of us. He tried. He tried and he succeeded. So for his children's sake, let's honor him in that way by remembering his words. All right? Now, the floor is now open for questions. I'm wide open just for you to ask me a few questions, and I'll see if I can answer them as best as I can. We've gotten to that point in my show where we can communicate openly, one-on-one. Let's do it. First question, go.
Okay. Let's see. We don't have any questions yet, but I will say some of the comments. Miss Piggy says she was looking forward to DMX becoming a preacher.
Yes, Mr. DMX he was already a preacher. He was serving God out loud. You don't need the title or a document to say that you're doing what God already is looking at you doing. He's walking in his calling just by speaking on the truth.
Tuli C asks, will we ever hear some Betty Wright stories?
You will absolutely hear. I may be, yes, you will hear some Betty Wright stories.
Okay. Gregory Harvey wants to know, what was the recording process for Unexpected album?
Well, the recording process for the Unexpected album was disjointed. That's the word that I'm going to use, because when I did Unexpected, the title came from the unexpected passing of my father. I was in the middle of recording when my dad passed away, and that was, I'm an only child, so that was a rock for me. And when he died, I didn't know where to go with my next song or what to do. So I said Unexpected was what I began to feel when my dad passed. So the process became that of a person who is in the wilderness, lost, trying to find something that is very valuable. So I started looking everywhere in my heart, my mind, my soul, because my dad was gone. So that process came from me losing my father.
Okay. Deborah Davis wants to know, she's interested in knowing just what your time with Prince meant to you.
Deborah, my time with Prince was so valuable. It showed me more that God had me walking in a line of greatness. Uh, I often ask, why me? Because it's not every day you get to meet Michael Jackson. It's not every day you get to meet Prince. It's not every day you get to work with these people. You don't get to touch your dream. These are dreams that I had as a young girl. So to actually see them come to fruition, you begin to realize that you're special. So I knew that God had a special calling on my life. So I can tell you that every time something great like that happened in my life, it only defined my worth because I knew that God trusted me with the story.
All right, Miss Angie Stone, we have a question from Corey Calloway. He's been listening to your Secrets Revealed, and he has a question from a statement you made the other night.
Corey Calloway, I'm going to try to answer you. What's up, babe?
He said, Miss Angie Stone, you do realize you have gay fans.
Who?
So what did you mean when you said you want to get into heaven when someone asked you jokingly about being intimate with Erykah Badu?
Being intimate?
The other night, somebody asked you, "Are you and Erykah Badu dating?" And you said no. So he's wondering, why did you say that?
Because I'm an avid believer that God created a woman to be with a man and vice versa. I'm not saying I'm against any choice that a person makes, but I do believe that I'm allowed to make my own choices because I have to face my creator, and I don't want to have to answer that question to my creator if I walk outside of his will. So that's the only thing I meant was, for me, I wanted to get into heaven because I'm trying to walk in obedience. That's it.
Goddess of Peace and Loves asks, who was your favorite artist that you collaborated with?
Oh, my goddess of peace and love, let me just say, and I would be remiss if I didn't tell my truth, but D'Angelo was probably the best artist I've worked with because we understand each other's music. Um, we count the same, we vibe the same, we we were just like freak and frack. That's the only thing I could say. It was a cohesive union of collaboration.
Carrie Taylor wants to know, how hard is it to hold on to God in the music industry?
What's the name again?
Carrie Taylor.
Carrie, it is very easy to hold on to God when you are walking in the wilderness. Um, I can't answer that for anybody other than me. When I left South Carolina as a teenager, I made a promise to my parents and to God that I would never leave nor forsake him as he had promised not to do it to me. So some of the choices that I made leaned heavily on the promise that I made. So I didn't find it very hard. Now, do we step out of line every now and then? That's life. Life happens. It says that we were born in this world to sin. So if we weren't given choices, we wouldn't know. So there are choices that we sometimes make that make sense, and then there are choices that we make that make no sense at all. But it's easy when you understand the process. I learned very early what being obedient means. So I try to operate in obedience. So when that comes up, I don't have a problem with it at all.
Deborah Davis wants to know, can we get links to your coffee, your barbecue sauce, and your hot sauce?
All right, Deborah, let me tell you something. You can get links as we're working right now with a distributor to get these items ordered, enough of them by the thousands, because we know once we start to distribute them, it's probably going to go bananas. I had a few bottles of my hot sauce and barbecue sauce given out back here in last October just as samples, and people won't stop calling because they just want it again. So we now are going into mass production. So hopefully by Thanksgiving of this year, I'll be able to give you guys direct line to how to order my products, get them, and you want to start. But if we set it up to do pre-orders, we might start as early as, I would say, within the next 2 weeks, taking pre-orders. So now I would say get them in soon, because we are now having the distributors see how many they can make at one time, and we're up to a couple of thousand at a time. So that's what we're working on. Thanks. Great question.
Miss Piggy wants to know, did you like being an only child?
Miss Piggy, nobody likes being an only child. I spent a lot of time with cousins, spending nights with aunts, uncles that had multiple kids. My cousins are more like my siblings. If I ever knew what a sibling was, it would be in a first, second cousin, something like that. But it was because I spent so many lonely nights as a child at home that I can honestly tell you, no, I did not like being an only child. I wish I had a sister or brother. As you know, you will never be a true aunt or uncle as an only child. So I don't know what it is to be anything but a godmom and a grandmom.
Cajun Music wants to know, do you feel that hip hop really started in New York or the South?
Oh wow, you can't ask me if I feel like hip hop started. Hip hop started where it started, where God chose for it to start. I will tell you this: the first hip hop record that broke ground outside of the tribal area was in New Jersey. And then the female side, from Columbia, South Carolina, was my group, the Sequence. We were the first girl group ever to do hip hop that transcended the world and to do singing and hip hop. So we were affectionately, before Lauryn Hill, we had been doing what the Fugees did, and that came so many years later. So, you know, it's tough to say, but I think it goes both ways. For the guys, it was New Jersey. For the girls, it was South Carolina.
Bishop Dexter has a rhetorical question for you.
All right, Bishop Dex, be easy.
And he says, do you know how much God is getting ready to do for you?
You know what? I can only imagine because I'm walking in my calling. So whatever God is getting ready to do, I'm only preparing myself to do what I need to do for him.
Ryan has a two-part question.
Okay,
The
Ryan.
first is, what was your experience working with Brandy on Moesha?
Okay, the first part, I guess I'll get the second part later. But Brandy, I absolutely love Brandy. I adore Brandy. She's one of the, in my opinion, she's one of the most talented people on the planet to me. She's a great actress, a phenomenal singer. Um, she's been that way since when she first started. I think at 14, 13 or 14. When I first heard her on I Want to Be Down, my my antennas went up, I so to speak. And no, I'm not a robot, but I'm just saying I heard her and I knew right away she was special. When I started working on Moesha, I was just, once again, I'll take it back to God have me cross certain paths because of what he expects of me. So absolutely, she's amazing and will always be that to me.
The second part is, will you do a duet with Brandy?
The second part is I would love to sing with Brandy if I could match her, but that heifer sings so good. And don't get me wrong, in a good way. That word was used in a good way. But Brandy, listen, not too many people can sing with Brandy and keep up with her. I sit back in admiration because what she's able to do with her voice, I only wish. But no, I don't think I can handle Brandy. Mm-mm.
Cultivate with Ka asks, Miss Angie,
Yes.
why do you believe so many artists nowadays compromise their morals?
Oh, and what's her name?
Cultivate with Ka.
Okay, I don't know if it's a woman or a man, but cultivate with cost. Let me say this. I think a lot of people um, compromise their morals because of the leaders they have to follow. When you're led to believe that you have to walk in a certain way to amount to anything, sometimes people will do just about anything to make it. The first thing you have to do is check your foundation. You don't have to follow anybody. A true winner is not a follower, but a leader. You should just follow God. If you follow God, He'll direct your path. And I just think a lot of people compromise their morals because they're confused. They're not following Him.
All right, we got 3 more questions and then we'll call it.
3 more questions,
3 more
and
questions.
it's a wrap.
Cannon wants to know, do you have an at-home studio and what's your favorite instrument?
Okay, I do have like a little makeshift home studio down in my basement, but I don't mess with it. I usually go in the studio because I like the vibe of what it feels like to be in a space where I can be, creative. But my instrument of choice, I used to run to a piano all the time, because I'm a self-taught pianist. But if I had my way, I'd start taking piano lessons and never stop because I just love the instrument.
Kathy Brown,
Kathy Brown.
she wants to know, would you ever do another reality show?
Kathy Brown, it all depends on what that value of that show is. If it's a reality show that does not play on my integrity, or one that does not disgrace us as women, and one that really uplift us as a people, absolutely. I just really believe that we are the future. We are the fabric of what holds the next generation. We have to be accountable for the things we do. So yes, I will do it if it makes sense. But if it's something that don't make sense, absolutely not.
Last question from Tyler Francis.
Last question, Tyra Francis. What is it?
Tyler asks, will we hear anything about making Fighting Temptations?
Okay, if you want to hear something about making Fighting Temptations, I will let you know. That was so much fun. When I worked with Mike Epps, Beyonce, Cuba Gooding Jr., Latanya, I mean Jackson, all of us became friends. The OJs. Uh, I just think Melba Moore. Shout out to Melba Moore, by the way. I just think that when we did that um, movie, we had to have some grounded morals. And I think that once all of the producers and everybody that was involved started to look at us all individually as we are all one talent and we all together make up this show or this film, then we begin to flow like water. I just think when they single out this and that and other, they have to be very careful when you have that many interesting celebrities in a room. The beauty for me for that show was my very young son, who is now Swavo Twain, was in the audience with my mother at the time. And I sometimes rewind the tape just because even though my mother has transitioned on, I get to see them and they get to be there with me when I'm making one of the biggest film debuts of my career. So, yes, absolutely. That is a great question, and thanks for asking it.
All right, that wraps it up for the questions.
All right, that will be all for the questions. Like I said, do not forget, if you get a chance, I'm going to search for DMX quote or something that he said or did that meant so much to me. And if you can do me a solid, find one that meant something to you, put it out there, and let me snatch. If I can get it on my page, my story, I will put it on there. But let's honor him the right way. Okay? Listen, until the next time. Guys, be blessed. I want to shout out Van Silk and my entire team. Shout out to my brother Chris Lee, who says I never shout him out. He's an awesome guy that has been an assistant of mine for many years. Sacred Sound, Van Silk, Ashton Evans, number one, Swavo Twain, Lady Diamond, and all of the powers that be. I love you to the moon and back. Until tomorrow. 7 p.m. Be blessed.